Chinese artificial intelligence model overtook US giants.
Why Chinese company DeepSeek says
DeepSeek.
DeepSeek.
The release of DeepSeek AI from a Chinese company should be a wake-up call for our industry.
DeepSeek, the $6 million AI revolution that crashed Silicon Valley. January 26, 2025.
DeepSeek shaking up global tech.
Nvidia losing nearly $600 billion in market cap today alone.
In January 2024, Nvidia's market cap was only $1.5 trillion. On January 26, 2025, tech titan Nvidia was the world's most valuable company with a market cap of $3.5 trillion. The company was the undisputed king of AI. But on January 27, 2025, barely 24 hours later, the unthinkable happened. Almost $600 billion vanished from Nvidia's market value as it plunged by a whopping 17%.
Tech company Nvidia lost almost $600 billion in market value yesterday, the biggest one-day loss for a company in stock market history. Now, the reason was a Chinese AI company called DeepSeek, which is Apple's most downloaded app yesterday.
The slide knocked it from its throne as the most valuable company on the planet, sending its valuation from $3.5 trillion to $2.9 trillion. Less than Apple's and Microsoft's. It now manages the number 3 spot behind Apple and Microsoft as the third most valuable company in the world. Was it a market correction or something far more sinister? Behind this collapse lies a shocking story of a $6 million Chinese AI startup that didn't just disrupt the game, it forced a reset of the industry strategy. This isn't just a business model failure for America's biggest tech companies. It's a corporate thriller with global consequences, and it's only the beginning. Stay tuned as we uncover how DeepSeek, a company no one saw coming, triggered the biggest tech meltdown in history. By the end of this video, you'll see why this isn't just about Nvidia's downfall. It's about the dark side of AI, the rise of a new global power, and the shocking truth about how a small, smarter thinking team and an even smaller budget beats big reputation and excessive spending. This is the story Silicon Valley doesn't want you to know, and it's one you'll never forget. Welcome to the Downfall Diaries, where we explore the rise and fall of empires, the corporate scandals that shook the world, and the dark side of AI innovation. Today's story is one for the ages. Hit the subscribe button and share your thoughts in the comment section below. We'll try to reply as much as we can. Let's rewind to 2016. While Silicon Valley is focused on self-driving cars and social media, a student at Zhejiang University named Liang WenFeng is trading stocks during the financial crisis. But Liang isn't just any trader. He's using AI algorithms to predict market movements. By 2019, WenFeng had established Highflyer, a hedge fund that would revolutionize AI trading. By 2021, they're exclusively using AI for all trading decisions. But Liang saw something bigger coming, something that would require massive computing power. More on that later. So who is this Liang guy? Who's the math genius that got OpenAI CEO Sam Altman, Google CEO Satya Nadella, and Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg rethinking their business strategy or risk-facing extinction? And almost no one knows his name? Liang WenFeng is an entrepreneur who turned AI into a money tree. His journey is insane. From a small town called Tanba in Wuchuan City, Guangdong Province in China, to running a hedge fund that manages billions. But here's the twist. No one truly knows how his AI system works. It's one of the most powerful trading engines ever built, and it might just be the future of finance. Liang grew up as the son of 2 school teachers. From an early age, he had a fascination with numbers, which led him to study engineering at Zhejiang University and received a Bachelor of Engineering in Electronic Information Engineering, 2007, and a Master of Engineering in Information and Communication Engineering in 2010. His master's dissertation was titled Research on Target Tracking Algorithm Based on Low-Cost PTZ Camera, advised by Professor Xiang Jiu. While in college, he and a few classmates started collecting financial data, playing around with algorithms, and experimenting with early forms of machine learning. Little did they know, they were laying the groundwork for one of the most powerful AI-driven hedge funds in the world. As the 2008 global financial crisis was tearing through the markets, wiping out billions in wealth, Wall Street was in chaos. Liang and his team kept testing AI models to identify profitable trading patterns. Their faith that with enough data and the right algorithms, they could predict market movements better than any human trader was driving them on. After graduating, Liang moved to a small flat in Chengdu, experimenting with AI across various fields. His early ventures failed until he applied AI to finance. Fast forward to 2013, Liang took his first major leap, co-founding the investment firm Hangzhou Yakebi Investment Management with Xu Jin with a focus on quantitative trading. It later evolved into Zhejiang Zhujiang Asset Management. But the real breakthrough came in 2016 when he and two classmates launched High Flyer Quantitative Investment Management. Unlike traditional hedge funds that rely on human intuition, High Flyer was a hedge fund built entirely on mathematics and artificial intelligence, and it worked. Within a few years, High Flyer was managing over 10 billion yuan in assets. In 2019, he took the stage at the Golden Bull Awards and gave a speech that left the finance world buzzing. His message? True quantitative investing isn't about human intuition, it's about pure data. High Flyer doesn't have portfolio managers. The fund's AI models scan thousands of stocks in real time, executing ultra-fast trades that most investors would never even notice. It's a system designed to beat the market using pure computational power. No emotions, no gut feelings, just data and precision. And his mission? To make China's financial markets more efficient. Liang WenFeng's success with High Flyer was already turning heads, but he wasn't done yet. Was he daydreaming, or was he for real? What would he attempt to do next? The answer lies in how Liang made his first genius move. Before US sanctions hit China's AI chip access, he quietly accumulated between 10,000 and 50,000 Nvidia 100 GPUs. This stockpile would become DeepSeek's secret weapon. But stockpiling GPUs was just the beginning. By 2021, Liang's obsession with AI was reaching new heights. To outsiders, it looked like the eccentric hobby of a billionaire with too much time on his hands. Even his business partners weren't convinced. One of them later recalled that their first meeting with Liang felt like meeting a classic math nerd with a terrible haircut, someone who struggled to explain his vision. But Liang didn't care what people thought. He simply said he wanted to build something, and that it would transform the game. Most people dismissed the idea, thinking only tech giants like ByteDance or Alibaba could pull off what he was envisioning. They had no idea what was coming next. Meanwhile, Liang was drawing inspiration from one of the greatest quantitative investors of all time, Jim Simons, the legendary founder of Renaissance Technologies. When the book The Man Who Solved the Market was published, Liang was asked to write the preface for the Chinese edition. In it, he admitted that whenever he hit roadblocks, he would think of Simon's famous words, "There must be a way to model prices." Then came May 2023. Liang made an announcement that stunned the industry. High Flyer wasn't just about trading anymore. He was taking on artificial general intelligence. His vision, a company called DeepSeek. At this point, it was clear. Liang WenFeng wasn't just a hedge fund genius. He was building something even bigger, something that could change not just finance, but the entire world. What Liang did next would make Silicon Valley's biggest names question everything they thought they knew about AI. Think of an AI model like a super smart student trying to learn everything about the world. Just like a student needs to read books to learn, AI needs to process what we call tokens. A token is simply a piece of text. It could be a word, part of a word, or even a punctuation mark. When we say DeepSeek processed 2 trillion tokens, imagine reading every book in thousands of libraries multiple times. The system they built uses something called a pre-normed decoder-only transformer. That's a fancy way of saying it's like having a really smart reader who first organizes everything they're about to read. That's the pre-norm part. And then makes sense of it one piece at a time. That's the decoder part. Think of it like sorting your Lego pieces before building something. It makes the whole process more efficient. While their token processing was impressive, it was their next breakthrough that would send shockwaves through the tech industry, and it started with a completely revolutionary approach to AI architecture. November 2023 brought their first major breakthrough, but instead of just making everything bigger, they got smarter about how their AI worked. Imagine a huge city where instead of everyone trying to do everything, you have specialists. That's what their system did with its billions of brain cells parameters. But here's the clever part. It only needed to use a small fraction of them at any time. It's like having a massive team of experts, but only calling on the ones you need for specific tasks. But if you think that was impressive, what happened next would make even OpenAI's Sam Altman do a double take. By May 2024, DeepSeek unveiled V2, and this is where things get really interesting. Imagine building the world's most efficient car, one that could outrace a Ferrari while using the fuel of a bicycle. That's essentially what DeepSeek did. The new system had 236 billion brain cells, parameters, but only needed 21 billion at any time. Think about it this way. If you're trying to solve a math problem, you don't need to consult a poetry expert, right? That's how V2 worked. It had two types of experts, two general doctors who know a bit about everything. These were called shared experts. They looked at every problem that came in. Then there were 160 specialists, the routed experts, who only stepped in when their specific expertise was needed. It's like having a hospital where patients see a general doctor first, who then decides which specialist they need to visit. Yet all of this was merely setting the stage. In December 2024, DeepSeek would unveil something that would make their previous achievements look like child's play. Before we go on, smash that subscribe button to support our channel. It will really help our channel. The last month of 2024 brought V3, pushing boundaries further than anyone thought possible. The system now had 671 billion parameters, more than the number of stars in our galaxy. But here's the clever part. It only needed to use 37 billion of them at any time. Let's break down how they made it so efficient. They developed something called 8-bit floating point arithmetic. Think about it like this. Instead of writing numbers with lots of decimal places, like 3.14159.265, they found a way to use simpler numbers, like 3.14, without losing accuracy. It's like compressing a photo to send it by email, but keeping it clear enough to see everything important. The training costs were staggering in their efficiency. Pre-training, $5.328 million, about the price of a luxury home in Silicon Valley context extension. $240,000, less than a college education final fine-tuning. $10,000, about the price of a used car. The tech world thought they had DeepSeek figured out. They were wrong, dead wrong. What happened next would wipe hundreds of billions from the market in a single day. January 27th, 2025 began like any other day in Silicon Valley. But by the closing bell, the tech industry had fundamentally changed. As DeepSeek's app climbed to the top of the App Store charts, panic spread through Wall Street. Nvidia, the company whose chips had powered the AI revolution, watched in horror as their stock price plummeted. In a matter of hours, they lost $593 billion in market value, more than the GDP of many countries. The ripple effects were immediate and devastating. Microsoft, despite its partnership with OpenAI and massive investment in AI infrastructure, saw its stock drop 2.5%. Google, which had been developing its own AI models for years, faced a 4% decline. But perhaps most telling were the reactions from industry leaders. Microsoft's CEO Satya Nadella called DeepSeek's achievement super impressive. Sam Altman, OpenAI's CEO, found himself in an unprecedented position. The company that had dominated AI headlines with ChatGPT was now facing a competitor that had achieved similar results with a fraction of the resources. But if Wall Street thought this was just another market correction, they were about to learn a harsh lesson about the New World Order. Within hours, the response was global and unprecedented. The Italian Data Protection Authority launched an immediate investigation. The U.S. National Security Council convened an emergency session. European Union regulators began drafting urgent briefings. The privacy implications were staggering. Unlike Western AI companies, which typically anonymize user data, DeepSeek's privacy policy explicitly stated they collected and stored everything. Every question, every response, every interaction, all on servers in mainland China. While governments scrambled to respond, something even more terrifying was becoming clear to Silicon Valley insiders. To truly understand why DeepSeek terrified Silicon Valley, we need to look at what they'd proven possible. For years, tech giants had convinced the world that building advanced AI required three things: massive data centers, endless electricity, and billions of dollars. DeepSeek had just proven all of that wrong. Let's put this in perspective. OpenAI's GPT-4 reportedly cost over $100 million to train and required more electricity than some small countries use in a year. DeepSeek's total training cost? $5.576 million? That's not a typo. They did it for less than 6% of the cost. The numbers were shocking enough, but the real revolution? It was hiding in plain sight, and it would change everything. If you are enjoying this mini documentary, subscribe and don't forget to share your thoughts in the comment. But the real genius wasn't just in saving money, it was in how they processed information. Traditional AI models are like having a massive library where every librarian has to check every book for every question. DeepSeek's approach? They built what they call a mixture of experts system. Instead of one massive supercomputer trying to solve every problem, they created a team of specialists. Each expert handles only what they're best at, saving enormous amounts of energy and processing power. The results were staggering, matching or exceeding the performance of models using 100 times more resources. Yet behind these massive technological achievements lay a human story that nobody saw coming. Behind every corporate downfall are real people. Developers who built their careers on Nvidia's technology, investors who lost billions overnight, and businesses that are now forced to adapt to a new reality. But there's a silver lining. DeepSeek's efficiency could democratize AI, making it more accessible and affordable for everyone. Small businesses that could never afford to implement AI solutions suddenly had options. Researchers with limited budgets could now run complex experiments. But if you think this is just about money and technology, wait until you see what DeepSeek's breakthrough really means for the future. The implications of DeepSeek's breakthrough extend far beyond just AI. They've fundamentally challenged three core assumptions about technology. First, the belief that only wealthy tech giants could advance AI. DeepSeek proved that innovative thinking could beat raw financial power. Second, the assumption that U.S. chip sanctions could contain China's AI development. They showed that efficiency could overcome hardware limitations. Third, the idea that bigger always means better in AI. And while Silicon Valley was still reeling, Washington, D.C. was about to sound an alarm that would echo around the world. The White House National Security Council's emergency session wasn't just about technology, it was about power. DeepSeek had demonstrated that despite U.S. sanctions on advanced chips, Chinese companies could still develop cutting-edge AI systems. Mark Andreessen called it AI's Sputnik moment, a direct reference to the 1957 Soviet satellite launch that shocked America into the space race. The parallel was clear. Just as Sputnik had proven American technological superiority wasn't guaranteed, DeepSeek had shown that AI leadership could come from unexpected places. The security implications were staggering, but there was another twist coming, one that would make environmentalists' jaws drop. In an unexpected twist, the environment emerged as a major beneficiary of DeepSeek's approach. Traditional AI training has become one of the fastest-growing sources of carbon emissions in the tech sector. Some models used as much electricity as a small country just for training. DeepSeek's efficient approach offered a potential solution to AI's growing environmental footprint. Their system used just 2% of the energy required by traditional models. Imagine the impact if every AI company adopted similar efficiency measures. It would be equivalent to taking millions of cars off the road. Just when everyone thought they understood the full impact of DeepSeek's revolution, a darker truth began to emerge. But with every breakthrough comes new challenges. DeepSeek's success raised serious questions about data privacy and security. Every interaction with their AI was being stored on servers in mainland China. When users asked about sensitive topics, Tiananmen Square, Taiwan, certain political issues, the AI would suddenly change course. Watch what happens when someone asks about certain historical events. The AI begins to generate an answer, then suddenly stops, deletes it, and responds with, "Sorry, that's beyond my current scope. Let's talk about something else." This wasn't a bug, it was a feature. But the most shocking part of this story? How Silicon Valley's titans responded. Their reactions would reveal just how deeply DeepSeek had shaken the foundations of big tech. Hey, don't forget to subscribe and share your comments below. We'll love to read your thoughts. Silicon Valley's response was fascinating. Instead of dismissing DeepSeek, major companies scrambled to understand and potentially integrate their technology. Amazon Web Services, Toyota, and Stripe all began exploring partnerships. Even Microsoft's Satya Nadella, whose company had invested billions in OpenAI, admitted DeepSeek was super impressive. Let's talk about open source versus proprietary AI and the major power moves happening right now. First up, Meta Platform CEO Mark Zuckerberg has been a huge advocate for open source AI, and his latest stance proves he's not backing down. So when a competitor introduced groundbreaking techniques, did Meta ignore them? Nope. Zuckerberg made it clear.
I think there are a number of novel things that they did that I think we're still digesting. And there are a number of things that they have advanced that we will hope to implement in our systems. And that's part of the nature of how open source works, whether it's a Chinese competitor or not. I kind of expect that every new company that has an advance, that has a launch, is going to have some new advances that the rest of the field learns from.
Translation: Meta is watching, learning, and adapting. They're not afraid to adopt innovations, even if they come from rivals. Not everyone is on the open source train. OpenAI, which runs a closed proprietary AI, had a very different take. During a Reddit AMA, CEO Sam Altman admitted,
"I personally think we have been on the wrong side of history here and need to figure out a different open source strategy. Not everyone at OpenAI shares this view, and it's also not our current highest priority."
Wait, OpenAI might have been on the wrong side of history? That's a major statement. Could this be a sign of a shift? Microsoft, a key OpenAI partner, sees AI models heading in one clear direction: commoditization, meaning AI tech will become widely available and less exclusive. CEO Satya Nadella put it bluntly.
I think DeepSeek has had some real innovations. Now that all AI models get commoditized, and it's going to get broadly used. So that type of optimization means AI will be much more ubiquitous. And so, therefore, for a hyperscaler like us, a PC platform provider like us, this is all good news as far as I'm concerned.
Translation: Microsoft isn't putting all its chips on OpenAI. They're betting on a future where AI models are everywhere, and they plan to dominate in other areas. Even ServiceNow CEO Bill McDermott sees the AI landscape shifting. Instead of fighting over AI models, he believes the real battle will be fought at the application level, where his company shines. His take:
It's actually fantastic news for ServiceNow because as these models are being commoditized at a rapid rate, and probably more rapid than anyone could have dreamed of, it's super exciting for platform and app vendors like us, since the competitive differentiation will happen at our level in terms of the applications, the business processes, how you can help these companies run better, and then ultimately get a business outcome.
In simple terms, the future of AI isn't just about who has the best model, it's about who uses AI the smartest. The message was clear: adapt or die. companies that had invested billions in traditional AI development faced a stark choice: embrace efficiency or risk obsolescence. The world of AI is shaking up and moving pretty fast. In response, OpenAI is considering a shift to its closed-source development approach. On January 31st, Business Insider's Jody Mann and Hugh Langley reported that Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg warned staff to prepare for an intense year ahead.
This is a marathon, not a sprint. But honestly, this year feels a little more like a sprint to me.
He also predicted that 2025 would mark the milestone of its highly intelligent and personalized digital assistant, reaching 1 billion users.
I think whoever gets there first is going to have a long-term, durable advantage towards building one of the most important products in history.
Zuckerberg said, as reported by Business Insider. Additionally, he suggested that AI agents could start taking on tasks like writing software this year. While he admitted it was hard to know if this would result in job cuts, he noted that even if some roles become redundant, it could also create demand for more engineers who can leverage AI for increased productivity. DeepSeek's release of a lower-cost open-source AI model has led OpenAI to rethink how to move forward, as reported by Seeking Alpha on February 1st, citing OpenAI executives' comments during a Reddit Ask Me Anything event. CEO Sam Altman said during the event that
OpenAI needs to figure out a different open-source strategy.
Altman further added that
not everyone shares the same view and that figuring out the strategy is not our current highest priority.
OpenAI Chief Product Officer Kevin Weil even said at the same event that they're considering open sourcing older AI models. Here is what Chief AI Scientist Yann LeCun on OpenAI models.
DeepSeek has profited from open research and open source. They came up with new ideas and built them on top of other people's work, LeCun wrote. Because their work is published and open source, everyone can profit from it. That is the power of open research and open source.
But while tech giants scrambled to adapt, an even bigger story was unfolding. One that would redraw the map of global power, and it all came down to a single question that kept intelligence agencies up at night. This is more than a story about technology. It's about the changing balance of global power. DeepSeek's rise represents a fundamental shift in how we think about innovation. They proved that with the right approach, a small team with limited resources could challenge the world's most powerful companies. The questions they've raised will shape the industry for years to come. Do we need massive data centers to build powerful AI? Can we make AI more environmentally sustainable? How will this change the global balance of technological power? Nvidia's downfall from a $3.5 trillion tech titan unveils the dawn of a new era in artificial intelligence. An era where efficiency trumps raw power, where innovation can come from anywhere, and where the rules of the game are being rewritten. DeepSeek didn't just disrupt the market, they shattered our assumptions about what's possible. In doing so, they've opened the door to a future where AI development is more accessible, more sustainable, and perhaps more unpredictable than we ever imagined. What do you think about DeepSeek's approach to AI development? How might this change the future of technology? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth tech analysis. Remember, today's disruptors can become tomorrow's giants, and today's giants, well, they can vanish in the blink of an eye. This is the Downfall Diaries, and I'll see you in the next video.